Why is it important to be transparent and open with your customers?
I think the reason I've been successful over the years is because I've been open and honest and tell the customer the truth when I deal with them. I've always been open and tell them the truth. Sometimes it's not what they want to hear, but they always appreciate that, and that's why I've built my clientele the last 20 years and been successful in sales is because of that, being honest and my always try to go about building my integrity and honesty when I deal with a customer. That way it works out in the long run.
What are some ways people can practice being transparent with their customers and clients?
I'm in the building materials side of sales, but I think the biggest part of ours is building a long-term relationship with our customers. I think the biggest thing they can build, especially a new salesperson, is just getting to know their customer, their needs, and their basics, and just building a firm relationship with them and being honest. And biggest thing, doing what they say they're going to do to the customer. If they say they're going to do this on Friday, they need to email them or call them and do what they say.
How do relationships with your clients make it easier to stay open?
It's different with each customer. I have some customers I've dealt with for 20 years, so of course they're a lot easier. I could go to those guys and ask them for an order tomorrow and they'd give me one because I just have that relationship with them. It's easier when you have one that you've had for years. Sometimes when you have a new one, you have to learn about that customer and get to know them a little better. But for the most part, most of my customers are long-terms I've had for years, so it's pretty easy to go in there and deal with them because I've known them for years.
What are some ways you can handle questions about competition?
I usually, when we go in, a lot of times and deal with a customer, you're always saying, well, one of my competitors has a lower price. I've been hear that all the time. So what I usually do is go in and try to get off the price subject and tell them we sell service and tell them everybody's around the same price, but try me and if you don't like me, that's fine, but try us because our service is great. Try to present something different besides the normal. Everybody's all about price, so I try to go in and change the subject and go with something that's not all price related. Right.
How would you handle misinformation or mistakes made with your company?
Well, I've had this happen a couple times where I misquoted a customer by accident, just to save face, and I've had to, one item I priced wrong, I had to sell it below cost and kind of eat it, but in the long run, it didn't really hurt me because all the volume the customer does per year, but just for its integrity purposes and being honest, I had to, that was my fault, so I had to own up to it, and that's what we try to do where I work, and I think the customer appreciates that and will honor that next time you have a business transaction. But I just try to, everybody makes mistakes, and I've made them to where the customer said, hey, don't worry, you called me, you told me up front, you're honest, so just put your price on it you need to, we're good. So.
How would you remain transparent when or if your competition is trying to make a sale to the same client?
Actually, I've had that happen where I've been in there and a competitor come in. A lot of them I know. I just try to stay professional with them, and hopefully they'll wait their turn to be professional, and I do the same. If somebody's there, I will try to come back if he's there before I am, or he or she. And but most of the time it's non-confrontational, and I try to never badmouth the competition. That's not good. But for the most part, just try to either reschedule an appointment or wait until they're finished.
How would you maintain transparency if there were to be a recall of a product within your company?
We actually had some issues in the past. I mean, I sell a lot of drywall, so back in '04, '05, we had Chinese board issue where it was defective, and we had to replace all that. I mean, there was lawsuits, and we had to take care of board that was damaged and replace it. I mean, we ended up having to pay for some of the costs, the manufacturers, but you just have to, if it's not right, then we have to replace it and right. If there was a manufacturer defect, so we have to honor that. We send guys out there to pick the bad material up and exchange it.
Do you believe that transparency improves the customer's experience within your company?
I think it does. I mean, I can't speak for all the companies that are competitors of mine, but I think where I work, we're always honest and upfront with our customers, and I think that's paid off in the long run for why we're successful and why we're one of the leaders in the industry. But I think it's very important. Like I said, it all goes back to the customer relationship base you build. A lot of sales are customer related and building relationships. It's been very important with the company I work for to build that.
How could withholding information from your clients be harmful to your company?
Well, it all goes back to being honest. I mean, if you present them an item and quote them and sell them, and like for instance, if I sold a piece of metal framing and I told the customer it's going to be in a week, and realistically it's not going to be in for 3 weeks, and I wasn't honest with the customer, and he finds out. I mean, he could be depending on that metal getting to his job in a week to put up and to finish the job. Well, if it's 2 weeks, that could cost him money by not. So he's going to, of course, be mad at me for not telling the truth. So I always try to be upfront, and if you're upfront, the customer's usually good, no matter if they have to wait or whatever. But that's an example where it can be deceiving to a customer and not being transparent. And